Hey guys, and welcome to episode 8 of the Digital Commando show. Thanks for joining us. Today is going to be really exciting. I've got another 3 fantastic guests for you. So what are we going to be talking about this evening? We're going to cover what is their current focus and what strategy they're using for them and their clients to see what works, what content to create and why. Big question. And then finally, we'll get their 3 top social media tips for success. So today I have with me Gus, Chanel, and Gemma. I'm going to bring them into the room now, and then they can introduce themselves. So here we go. Hey guys, how you doing?
Hey, good.
Hey.
I'm just going to hide this banner because I always forget. There we go. It worked. That worked the first time. That was really great. So I suppose we'll get right stuck into it. Gus, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody watching, please?
Sure. Thanks, Stefan, and pleasure to be here as well. My name's Gus Bandel. I am the marketing guru. I'm based in Coventry, but I cover the whole of the world, basically, because we can do now, because we're all online. I essentially help businesses with social media marketing management. So I take over all the channels, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever it may be, and just manage that for people. But I also do other things like blogging and email marketing and websites and all that kind of stuff. So social media management is the main thing that I do.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Gus. Gus, can you say your name then? Sorry. Over to you, Chanel.
Hey guys, hey Stefan, thanks so much for having me. So my name is Chanel Morales. I am an online business coach where I teach a lot of organic social media marketing, so how to grow an audience on Facebook without spending money on ads. I also run a digital marketing agency where we do a lot of the Facebook ads. We do web design, a lot of funnels and lead generation stuff for coaches and online course creators. So I focus a lot on the online business space. So anyone who has an online service who wants to either grow it organically or with Facebook ads, I can generally help you out either way.
Awesome. Thank you, Chanel. And then last but not least, over to you, Gemma.
Thank you very much for having me. So I am the owner and founder of Gem Media Marketing Consultancy, and I specialize in helping businesses get heard in the online space. So anything from web design, social media, email marketing, SMS marketing, just anything online, ads, influencers, I help get the brand heard. And recently, since all of this has been happening, I've really found that strategy and coaching has become a big thing of mine. So I would like to talk more about that on this show.
Fantastic. Well, thank you all for joining me, and for everybody who's watching. The guys are giving up their time once again for us, so I really appreciate it. We're going to try and give you some real great knowledge that you can implement into your businesses straight away. So some real good takeaways from this. So all we ask in return is that if you know anybody that you think can benefit from watching this show, then please do tag them in the comments now, or share the whole show with them so they can watch it there. We are streaming live, so guys, feel free to bang your questions into the comments and we will answer them as we go. So let's get stuck in. The first thing that we were going to cover today is to talk about what is your current strategy and focus. Now, we did a bit of a show earlier on, also with 3 other experts in the marketing sector. And like I said earlier, this is kind of our strategy for Sigma and the Academy at the minute. We're very much trying to, like I said, use Frank Kern's we want to show people we can help them by actually helping them trick. So we're doing the show. We want to try and give as much content away, try and create real value to people, build a relationship with you. And then obviously people that are watching it can point business in our direction, and hopefully that'll work for us. So that's kind of what we're doing. Gus, what strategies are working for you at the minute?
I've made a few notes here, but the main one, and it sounds ridiculously obvious, is to be yourself. What I've found is that people are, there's a lot of people struggling with what's going on right now, particularly online, and particularly with everything that's, everybody's jumping online, everybody's talking to each other via, various kind of social media channels, etc. And actually to be personable, to be social, and to be yourself, I think that's the key. All the stuff that I'm doing for my clients, all the stuff that I'm doing for myself, everything that kind of shows off yourself and your personality and your brand personality, etc. That's the stuff that's getting, the most amount of kind of reach, the most amount of engagement, the most amount of conversation. And quite frankly, social media, the key word is to be social, right? The most important thing is to have conversations.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's spot on. I like how you said about staying real to yourself. And I think this is one of the biggest struggles kind of in business in general. And we speak about it quite a lot. And I know when we've done some coaching before, it's when you're running a business specifically, we always say, right, well, try and outsource the things that either you don't like or you're not good at, because these are the things that really drain you. And I think social media is very much the same. If you're trying to put on a false persona all the time, and then as you get bigger as a brand or as your own brand, that gets really draining to try and fake that all the time. So I think, being real is so key to, again, being successful online and growing as a personal brand or a brand in itself. Chanel, what's working for you at the minute?
Yeah, so I absolutely agree with what Gus said about being yourself. For me, the last 12 months have been absolutely amazing in terms of using Facebook and using my personal profile and my Facebook group to fill my coaching programs and build like a massive personal brand. So one of the things I would say is definitely, if you are a solopreneur and it's just you and you're starting out and things like that, try and focus all your energy on one social media platform. There can be a big temptation to be like, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Twitter, on Instagram, Facebook. And what you'll find is you stress yourself out and you overwhelm yourself. When you're bigger, yes, you can afford to sort of automate stuff and you can have a VA maybe help you. But when you're starting out and it's just you, focus all your energy on one social media platform. Get really good at that platform, learn it, understand it, and build your community there. It works just as well on LinkedIn or Instagram. I've chosen Facebook. And with Facebook, I find that using your personal profile is one of the quickest ways to build your business, because with a page, you don't really have the power over who likes your page. You have to wait for someone to like your page. So it's great to have a page for when you want to run ads. But if you're starting off with no money and you just want to start building your business, using your personal profile and connecting with ideal clients and growing your page, your profile, to a point where it's full of your ideal clients is going to be really powerful. And then directing people into your group and cross-populating between the two. So that's how I've built my business, done 10K months and 20K launches, all through the power of my personal profile and my Facebook group.
I love that. That's really good. And I think that's a really strong way of doing it. I've got some of my genuine friends that have got a bit annoyed with me because I do exactly the same thing. So I've hit the limit of 5,000. And then what I'll do is I'll go through and do a bit of a cull, right? Who am I not talking to anymore? And I'll delete a load of people. And some of them I've known for years, but I'm like, well, I haven't spoken to you. I'm probably never going to. So I'll just take you off. And that's when they notice and they'll go, oh, yeah. Why have you deleted it?
You'll be surprised how many people are watching your stuff. I get really high engagement on my personal profile, but probably 10 times that amount of people are watching what I do. And you'd be surprised how many people see things and never comment. And actually, with high ticket sales, you often find that those people that buy from you without really questioning you too much haven't ever commented, they've never engaged, they've been watching you for ages. So don't think that because people are engaging that they're not watching you, because people are still watching.
Absolutely, totally agree with you. Over to you, Gemma. What's working for you currently?
Well, I had to change my direction, which I'm sure a lot of us have done. And I've been trying to connect with more people, but actually auditing who I have got on my list so far. So I haven't been culling anyone as of yet, but what I have been doing is trying to put a better persona together of who my ideal client is and going out there to find it. So I've actually created my own Facebook group recently called the Sofa Social, which I'm trying to get loads of people in there to build a community and trying to connect with them on a more personal level, as Gus was saying. So what I find works for me right now is just to audit all my channels, audit my database, and make sure that I'm speaking with the right people, because I don't want to go out and market to people if it's ineffective and to the wrong person.
I think that's a really key one for any business, kind of, especially in its infancy as it's growing, to really identify what their ideal clients are. And when they find that, obviously we focus on Facebook advertising. That's pretty much all we do, Facebook and Instagram. So for that to be successful, you need to know exactly who the client is, because otherwise you're going to spend loads of money targeting the wrong people, getting charged by Facebook
And
every
I
single day
find that
and
with
reach people that are never going to convert.
I feel like with this situation, a lot of people were just putting content out, but not actually taking the time to look through their followers and see actually who are they and what percentage am I actually converting from my social media. So I think now is the perfect time to sort of track all the return and look at analytics and insights and figure out what's working for them.
Absolutely. So we've got a question that's come in from Sarah Gibson. Is there a particular social media platform that is easier to get to grips with for a beginner in marketing? I'll throw this around the room. Gus, what do you think?
Yes, they're all easy. That's the beauty. I think, it's we always say that the most important thing is to find your ideal client. And as Gemma just said, then it's great to do an audit of who your ideal client is, where they are following you, and etc. If you're a beginner and you don't have a social media channel, I think the prime one is always Facebook. That's the one I always kind of direct people to. I love LinkedIn personally. I love Twitter, but they take a lot of time to curate the right audience and find people, etc. Facebook, you can jump in very quickly and you can get involved in other people's conversations, as in you can join groups, you can join kind of online communities, etc. And you can be a part of, like, for example, Gemma's Sofa Social that I've written here. There's lots of communities out there, UK Network Community, 4N, for networking, etc. I've got a social media group. So there's lots of, it's very easy to get involved in Facebook to obviously have conversations with other people. So that I always suggest Facebook first, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Facebook is. I think it's one of those ones that we've kind of been brought up using. So it should be, I suppose, in that sense, easier to start to get to grips with because we might not actually use the other ones. What do you think, Chanel?
So I would say wherever you show up best. Some people like Instagram, they enjoy spending time there. If you're already enjoying spending time on that platform, your engagement levels are going to be naturally higher, so you're going to get more organic reach. If you absolutely hate Instagram, like me, and you think your clients might be there, it doesn't really matter because you're probably not going to spend hours and hours every day engaging, so you won't get the reach on your content. Me, on the other hand, I will spend hours scrolling through Facebook, commenting on posts, so my organic reach is really, really good. And it just works exactly the same for LinkedIn. I hate being in there, so I don't engage, and therefore I get hardly any reach, even though I put the exact same content as I would on Facebook, maybe slightly different. I just don't get the same reach because I don't enjoy showing up there. So wherever you enjoy showing up most, go there.
I think you've highlighted something really key there, which is what most people miss. But actually, we'll have seen it as digital marketers, and some people watching this, especially businesses, will have seen it on their pages and things, which is where they post and they don't get any engagement, maybe like 1-2 likes ever, regardless if that's from their personal profile or from their business page. And that is because social media is a two-way street. Unless you're engaging with other people, Facebook's probably not going to show your stuff to anybody else. It does work the algorithm is designed to work in that way. You need to be social in order to get it back as well. So it's a great point you pulled up there. And that's the reason you're getting so much interaction from your side, you know, isn't it? Because you're actually engaging with people that are then going to engage with you back. If you can't have a conversation with standing there listening, isn't it?
Yeah, way too much time on Facebook. That's why I get such good results from Facebook. So it's
yeah. Over to you.
So this is quite a tricky one, actually. I think Facebook is great, but I think with the page and the profile separation, and then obviously the groups and the ads, it can be a bit overwhelming for a beginner. So I think Instagram would probably be a better channel because with Instagram, you can just get creative. And I think that's what people love about it. So you can share when you're at work, when you're at home, your personal life, and your audience can really get to know who you are. And I think your content that you're putting out there will show you off in a much better light. And also it's much easier to follow people than it is to get a like to your business page. So I think Instagram would be the best way to sort of engage and show off your content.
I think it's a good shout. I've got the advantage of, I actually think I know Sarah. So I think, Sarah, if I remember rightly, you're quite young. So I'm going to make the assumption that you're probably more towards Instagram than us lot on here that are maybe a little bit older, only a little bit. So we're probably more Facebook generation. You might be slightly more Instagram, and I kind of go back to where you feel comfortable. But one of the things that we really try and get involved in, especially if you're getting into social media as a kind of newbie, if you're creating, for example, stories and posts for your Instagram, it's very easy to then cross them over to different platforms. So if you're creating content for Instagram as a normal post, you can easily get it out onto Facebook. If you're creating stories, you can copy them stories onto Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Snapchat, and all the rest of it. So you can kind of do content for one. We're going to talk about content in a minute. I've gone well off piste. Yeah, just stick to where you feel comfortable. Swiftly moving on. So yeah, I hope that made sense. All right, cool. Let's pull that one away and let's go on to point number 2. So, like I said, what content to create and why? So, especially this is one of those really controversial subjects with a lot of marketers. Actually, we're all saying to create different kinds of content. So that may come out now. It might be very different, but generally, there is many different people. Many people say let's do blogs. Other people saying let's do lives. Let's do videos. Then when it comes to the kind of content you put out, it's all very different. So I'm not going to share my opinion. I'm going to wait and see. So Gus, tell us your kind of content.
So for me, when it comes to content, like I said earlier, I think it's all about being yourself and being personable. And the best thing about particularly now about content, people have lots of time on their hands, but what people don't know is how to create content, where to share it, and all that kind of stuff, etc. I think repurposing is really important. So what I always give people the content journey. So you should write a blog, maybe 1,000 words, 1,500 words, etc. Put that on your website. Then you can obviously repurpose that as a LinkedIn article. You can then take the paragraphs and make them into, for example, Facebook posts. If there's any associated pictures, you put them on Instagram, etc. But you've only ever created one document. You see, you've only ever created one piece of content. And I think right now the content should be what you are doing, basically all about yourself, because we've all got Facebook pages and LinkedIn and Twitter and Instagram or whatever it may be, and we've been on there for years and years and years. But right now, we're seeing a massive spike in people online. So I think the content should be, go back to the beginning, start again, tell everybody who you are, what you do, what makes you the authority in what you do, etc. And just write one blog about it, and then obviously repurpose that everywhere. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I like that. I liked how you said about this kind of telling the story and going back to basics. And I think this is something that's actually worked quite crucial with a lot of clients that we've worked with over the past, where they may have been doing something like pushing product consistently. So maybe they sell, I don't know, chairs, and they'll just go, now we've got this chair, now we've got this chair, now we've got this chair. And people kind of switch off to it. But then when you kind of talk about Jim, who upholsters the chair, and this is where we get it from, and this is our story to go and collect it and things like that, people can resonate with those stories and the individuals a lot better than they can maybe with just like pushing product. So yeah. I really like about the story. I think I agree with that.
The beauty of social media is that it should be a backstage pass. It should be kind of an access all areas. People have bought the ticket to see your Facebook page or your LinkedIn page, etc., but they want to learn more about the person. I can tell you till I'm blue in the face that I've got over 20 years of experience, but without actually showing you or proving that, or in terms of showing off who I am and the authority, etc., nobody's ever going to know. And now's the perfect time to actually tell people why you're good at what you do and how you've got to where you are, rather than just saying, buy my chairs, for example.
It comes back to building brand, doesn't it? Now it's not necessarily a time to sell, is it? It's for some businesses, they haven't got the ability to sell right now. So why not tell the story? Start to build brands, start to build relationships, start to build that community. And then when obviously we're out of this mess of a situation, then potentially they've got the relationship ready to start selling those, that rapport building in the normal sales process. So yeah, great. Chanel.
Yeah, so this is such a massive subject, isn't it? When you're talking about blog and social media and everything. So I'll probably just focus on social media because that is what I do. That's what I have most experience in. So first of all, I have 6 types of posts that you should be posting on your social media platforms. The first one is story posts. So this is your backstory, your founder's story, like you said, building authority, helping people to understand, you know, why you do what you do, why you're the expert. The second is live. So live has been massive for me in getting people to message me. You know, if you put out a really high value live where you show people exactly how you can get them from point A to point B, then they're going to message you if that's the journey they want to go on, if that's the result they want in their business. The third one is results posts. So this is like testimonials, case studies, results you've had for your clients. When someone signs up to join your program, share that. That's a result. The fourth one is value. So this is teaching something, giving value. The fifth one is a sales post, when you just literally tell someone what you're selling. And the sixth one is a question. So I rotate between these. Questions are great for engagement. They're great in your groups to build community. But I think you need a combination of all these different types of posts mixed in together throughout the week when you're managing your social media platform. So that's the stuff that I post. I think right now, like you said, giving value and telling your story is probably key. I am still selling. I haven't seen any change in sales because of the type of business that I have, which is coaching people now thinking more about that. They're sat at home and thinking, I want to change something in my life. So again, don't necessarily automatically assume that because this crisis is happening that you shouldn't sell. Keep selling until there's a reason not to sell. You know, I decided that I wasn't going to see this as a problem, that I was going to see it as an opportunity, and that's exactly what it's been for me. So that's very much to do with mindset as well, and looking at the positives of the situation.
I love that. I love the fact that you said don't stop selling, and I totally agree with that. There seems to be a bit of a fear at the minute where people are kind of going, oh, I feel a bit guilty to sell, or to be honest, I've had a load of shit online for trying to sell my product because they were
really?
like, I genuinely have, because we've got an academy and they're like, it's an online course. They were like, well, I think you're taking advantage of the situation. I was like, you don't know the backstory. We've been building this course for 18 months. It was supposed to launch in January. It got delayed to March, and we ended up releasing it in April. This is not something that's just, oh, I know what's a good idea because everyone's at home. Like, that wasn't the story at all. It's a shame that people are kind of looking at it like that way. But I think I totally agree with, there's no reason why you shouldn't sell. We're not going to Tesco and getting stuff for free. Like, businesses still need to act like businesses. If you can help other people along the way at the same time, then absolutely fantastic. But we are businesses. We're not charities. We do need to generate an income to pay. We're all agencies. We need to pay our staff. We need to pay our contractors. We've got software that we need to pay for to keep everyone's stuff going. There's a lot of overheads included, not just our businesses. Everybody's businesses have overheads. So we still need to continue to sell. And I don't think people should feel guilty about that. I think as long as we've got a bit of empathy and compassion for the situation while we're doing it, I think that's absolutely fine.
Yeah, I think that's why sharing your story is so important, because obviously I haven't had any negative comments about what I do, but because my audience is generally all organic, like I only ran ads for my free 5-day challenge the first time last month. So everyone kind of knows who I am, and they know I've been talking about this stuff for 2 years. So saying, you know, build an online business, they're not thinking, oh, she's jumping on this bandwagon because of coronavirus. They kind of know. So I share my story. I've shared my journey. You know, they understand. So I haven't had any of that, luckily, as yet. But one of the things I do say is, if you're a coach and you have, or if you have a course or something like that, you can negotiate maybe on payment plans at the moment. But don't negotiate on price, because I know a lot of people have been tempted to reduce their prices because of the situation, and I don't agree that you should be doing that. I think maybe negotiate on payment plans if it works for you, but don't negotiate on price, because your value is still just as good as it was 3 months ago.
Absolutely, totally agree, and I don't think I could have said it any better myself. Gemma, back to you.
Yeah, that's very tricky to beat that. That was great. So with my content, I would say that I always try and tell my clients that they need a strategy, because without a strategy, you can't just go out there and put content out and hope that it sticks and reaches the right person. So we start with a strategy, and then we build a campaign. And what that does is enable us to reach the customer on all touch points of their journey. So I always say that we should start with social media with the with the aim to direct traffic to your website, because ultimately that's where you then want to generate leads. So the content to do that on social media, I find blogs are great to educate. And I was always blogging weekly or fortnightly myself and with my clients. And it was great to optimize our website. It was great to get traffic from social media to our website. But actually what I've found in this situation is I've got more time and I've felt a bit more creative. So I've actually started to do videos, and I have seen the impact that they have had. I have had more followers, I've had more comments, I've had more people go to my website, and all I was doing was 3 tips a day about social media on my Instagram, and I didn't edit the video or anything. I just uploaded it of me talking actually on a walk on the day-to-day, and it was very effective. So I would say video is the best because people can really get to know who you are. And I think right now, if you can add a bit of humor and a bit of personalization to that, I think that's just what people need. They need that bit of joy to your brand, and it shouldn't be all business right now. It should be, this is how I can help you, this is the value I provide, but ultimately this is who I am as a person.
Yeah, I really like that as well. I like how you said about the creating video. Then this is something that we speak to with clients and listeners actually all the time. Lots of people have commented on this recently when we've mentioned video, and there's an element of questions we always get when, as marketers, we'll say, right guys, what you need to do is create some video, and instantly they'll come back with, right, well, I haven't got a professional camera, I haven't got all of the audio equipment, I haven't got the time, I don't know what to talk about. And I always say to them the same thing: what a load of rubbish. I don't say rubbish.
Yeah.
So there might be children watching. So yeah, it is a load of rubbish. And to be fair, we started it. I made all of these excuses, and I don't admit this to everyone. I did admit this on one, I think, podcast in Australia. But if you could see my office, I've got every bit of gear imaginable, like everything from
I have to line up the microphone.
I've got 2 of these. I'll tell you a funny story about that in a minute. So I've got 2 of these. There's one here, one there for guests. I've got some circular light thing here. I've got a gimbal there. Like all the studio lights, everything. Right, none of it works. It's like, this doesn't work. Doesn't do anything because I can't make it work. The other one doesn't work. So I haven't done a single podcast or video episode where any of this has worked. The best thing I've got is this circular light. I cut the gimbal, I can't make it work. It's on a slant. I don't know how to fix it. Like, I am complete technophobe. Great at web, terrible at actually touching things. In the army, they call me Magneto because everything I touch just breaks. It was ridiculous. So to go and create video, people watching, if you want to create video, you do not need to have a load of money to invest in kit. All you need is one of those. Literally, that is it. You have a phone and you switch it on and off you go. Now, don't feel like the first video you ever create has to go live to the world. To be perfectly honest, the first video you create isn't really going to be seen by that many people, probably, unless you're particularly popular. There's not that many people that are going to see it. So put it out there. You're going to get a bit of maybe constructive criticism. Who cares? Just get some content out via video, and then your confidence will slowly build. That fear is, there's the fear of, what are people going to think about what I say? Are people going to agree with me? Are people going to come back and say things to me? Who cares? They're not paying your bills. It doesn't really matter. Just crack on, do you, and get some content out there. That's what I would say. Has anybody got any points on that, do you think?
Yeah, sorry.
Go on. No,
yeah, I spent the last 2 years traveling with just a laptop and nothing else, like my phone, my laptop. I've been traveling for 2 years, so I could not carry any equipment around with me. And Facebook Live has been one of my absolute best ways to sell, best way to get leads. You know, people message me straight away after I do Facebook Lives, and I absolutely cannot stress enough, your point is great about doing video and live. Live is better, I personally think, if you're able to do that. And it's one of those things that you will want to die the first 10 times you do it. But after that, it's fine. So just do it, and then eventually you won't hate it anymore, I promise.
Absolutely, totally agree. Does someone else have something to add?
Yeah, I was sorry. I was just going to say about video. I think it's a brilliant point. Both Shanala and Gemma and yourself, Stephanie, make brilliant points about the fact that you should just go online. You should just do it. So I'm a massive sucker of for FOMO, so for the fear of missing out. So I'm looking online. My Amazon wish list is full of tripods, ring lights, lapel mics, wireless mics, and all this other kind of stuff. All this stuff that I want that's gonna, make me look like the most professional guy ever. It's like, I'm not Steven Spielberg. That's the thing. And I started making live videos only probably about a month ago. I tell my clients, make live videos, always do live videos, etc. I've been telling them for years, but now I've started doing them myself. And I think my second or third video got something like 2,000 views because I just made a poignant point about marketing, about it was about following Facebook pages and don't invite all your friends to like your Facebook pages, etc. And it got shared quite a lot. That won't always happen, but the important thing is that you're just going live, you're telling people something that's important. Don't go live for the sake of it, that's the thing, but do videos. And you don't, like you said, you only need the phone, you don't need all the other stuff.
You brought up a very good point earlier. You said about don't go live for no reason. That's so true. Try and make sure there is some value in what you're actually going to say. Now, if anybody from a business thinks, I don't really know what value I've got, you're the expert in your industry because you run the business. Like, you know your stuff, and they should have that confidence within themselves. Like, I speak to so many people and they're like, oh, I'm not too sure. You're the expert. I don't know the first thing about your business. Just start talking about it. Answer the questions that you get on your frequently asked questions page or the ones that come in from customers. Just jump on, answer a question, and I think that's one of the best ways to do it. So, last but not least, we will go to, this is going to be a great one for Guy. Everybody who's watching now, this is really exciting. The top 3 social media tips for success from everyone. Right, Gus, let's have it.
Top 3. Damn, I got 30. So now I'm gonna kidding. So God, where do I start? So consistency that's tip number 1. Make sure you're consistent, because the algorithms really pick that up. No matter what you use, whether it be Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram or whatever, it will work out that you're being regular, for want of a better phrase. Always be online, whether you post once a week, once a day, once a month, whatever it is. Just make sure that you're consistent. That's tip number 1, because the algorithms pick that up and they'll keep sharing your stuff, and obviously make sure you engage with people and answer people, etc. The second point we've already discussed, I've written here: be honest. Be yourself. People love that. It's all about being personable. It's the backstage pass, the access all areas. And the third one is strategy. So right now, everybody all of a sudden is an online expert. Everybody has gone online and said, I'm a digital marketing expert, buy your services from me, etc., etc. And we haven't seen these people. 4 weeks ago we didn't know these people. And the thing is, it's all about having a strategy. People are just going online and, like I said, posting live videos and doing this and doing that, etc. It's not about that. It's about having a strategy. So whether you put, like I said, you post once a day or once a week or once a month, have a plan. That's the most important thing, I think, with social media. You can do the ad hoc stuff, do the kind of the in between stuff. Here's me, wishing I was in Starbucks and all that kind of stuff. But have a plan about what shows you in the best light, basically, what shows you your authority, your business, etc. So be consistent, be yourself, have a plan.
Awesome. That is really good. I've noticed, actually, you're so right about everybody's a social media guru now. Not for one of a better word, guru. But everybody's like I'm a social media mastermind and all this sort of stuff. And there seems to be another 1,000 pop up in the last week, which is great. And to be fair, but good to them. And go for it. My advice to everybody who's doing that and trying to get into social media and like break into the market is get a client, even if it's just one. Family, friend of a business, anything. Just get that first one, do a good job, get testimonials, and all the stuff that Chanel said earlier on. Get the testimonials, show the results, the rest of it, and then build on that, because it's a competitive market anyway. So if you want to compete, if you want to be in this game, you're going to have to do pretty bloody well. So get those results quick.
Just on that note, actually, I will add that you don't. I don't believe in competition. I don't believe that there's a word called competition. I don't see competitors, etc. Because ultimately, we're all running our own race. That's the important thing. And I think any new entrants to the market, people that have been around for a long time, or whoever it may be, the important thing is we're all running our own race. I noticed that Shaquille Jones just put a comment as well about being a technophobe, but he's sold out loads of events. Now, I've never met Shaquille, but I know of a lot of them because we're connected on LinkedIn and we're connected on Facebook, etc. And he's a really good guy to know, basically. But we've never actually met, and this is one of the things about digital marketing and social media that we're just going to be. This is where we kind of create engagement and create friendships, etc. And there's no such thing as competition. To be honest, we're all friends in business. That's the main thing.
Yeah, I think it is. I think especially within our sector, like we're all here now. So we've got 3 agency owners and digital marketers on now, and we've got I was on the phone with, or on the call with, or on this morning with 3 others. With us, I think it's very easy to work together, and where I niche in like one particular area. I know Gus, so you really go in on the organic side. There's no reason why we couldn't have a client that overlaps between me and you, and it wouldn't be a problem. Do you know what I mean? So there's lots of that crossover. Same with different areas. That's what the other thing I could bring you both into it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's very, very easy ways to work with each other. Shaquille's an absolute legend. It was great. I was on his podcast actually earlier on, and we were having a bit of a chat similar to this. So yeah, live all day long. This is me now. But yeah, so Shaquille, thanks for joining us. Thank you very much. Right, get that down. Chanel, what are your 3 top tips for social media success? Oh, where's she gone?
Oh no.
I kicked her out.
No worries. So first of all, know your ideal client. So know who your ideal client is inside out. What are their pain points and what are their motivations and their aspirations? And then write content that speaks to those things. So where they are now and where they want to be. If you don't know those things, find out, do market research, talk to people, all that kind of stuff. The second one is focus your energy on one social media platform if you are new, if you are a solopreneur, if it's just you and your business and you've got all this other stuff to do, focus all your energy on one platform. Hi, Laura. Because then you can get the most out of that one platform. So whichever one you choose, don't feel like you have to overwhelm yourself and do everything, because you can build a great business using one social media platform, and it's much more impactful, much faster. And the final thing is, if you want to grow and scale your business, then you need to start repurposing content. So however you choose to do that, I started off with a spreadsheet with all my posts. I now have them in Trello, which you can then automate with Zapier and Buffer. You can do it really simply, or you can make it more complicated. It depends how much you like tech. But just remember that a post that you post 6 months ago is probably just as good and nobody remembers it. So don't feel like you have to constantly be creating new content. What I tend to do is I have a whole load of pre-created posts that I've been posting for the last year in Trello. When I don't feel inspired to write a post one day, I'll share one of my old posts. When I feel inspired, I'll share a new post. So that will save you so much time, save you so much stress when you're thinking, you've got to share something every single day. So if you want to scale, repurpose your content.
That's a really good point. And I think that scheduling side as well, for people that people forget, like some small businesses don't even know you can schedule. And this is one of the things, if you're really struggling on a day-to-day basis of thinking of content, we normally get clients to sit down at maybe just 1 or 2 days a month, maybe like just one day where you just sit down and you plan, okay, these are the things that are going to go out every day. And then you can use things like Trello or Hootsuite or Later or any of those kind of platforms to then schedule those posts for you, which then it just relieves a lot of stress. I said to, again, small business owners at like one-man bands, you need to focus on doing the work and actually doing what you're paid to do rather than the social media. It kind of has to be, just do it in the background because it is your shop window. And if anybody comes to your shop window, you want them to know that you're open at least. So if you've got an active post that's gone out in the last 48 hours, fantastic. At least they know you're there. Right. Gemma, what are your 3 top tips for social media success?
So my 3 top tips are to post every day and make sure that that same post goes to your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, your LinkedIn, so that you're still everywhere. Back to what I was saying about reaching your customer on all touch points of their journey. So I would have the same post that goes out on every single channel. And on places like Instagram and Facebook where there's a story, I would also share the post to the story, because I think as much as it's important to be on the grid, it's actually really important to be on the story, because more people are watching than they are reading now. And also, if you use hashtags on your story, you're going to get a lot more followers than you do on your grid now. So stories are great. My last note for my top 3 tip is to use hashtags, especially if you target customers within your local area. Using the hashtag for your local area is super, super important, especially now that you can follow hashtags. So for example, you can hashtag London and follow that. And every time you go in your news feed and scroll up, you'll see everyone else that's using that same hashtag. So actually you're picking up content from people that you're not even following, and you can engage with them and start to build a relationship if it's someone that's within your ideal client persona. So I think hashtags are really important, not just to be discovered, but like I say, to see content from people within that local area.
Great points. And I think that's really good for local businesses as well, to use those local hashtags. And we've done that with a couple of clients that we've said, yeah, use Warwickshire, Leamington Spa, that kind of thing. And it has had a direct impact, because people in the local area are searching for their local hashtags. They want to know what's going on in the area. So
Exactly.
yeah, people that aren't doing that, definitely start doing it. We've had a post coming from Laura. Now, me and Chanel know Laura very well after a 7-hour Zoom call on Friday.
I did make it 7 hours. I think I did about 3 hours.
Me and Laura did. I think Laura was like last man standing, to be fair. It was a good effort.
I'm surprised.
It was really good. But again, completely different story. But Laura's asked, what are the best times of day to post for maximum engagement? Off the top of my head, I can't actually remember. I think we did do a blog on this. Oh, we've lost Gemma. I'm sure she'll be back. So yeah, best times of day to post for maximum engagement. And if you guys remember off the top of your head?
Anytime.
So I think it's different based on your audience, isn't it? So I have an international audience, America and the UK. So I always post in the afternoon so that at least the American people are awake. And if you're using like a page or an Instagram business page or LinkedIn, anything like that, you can actually check the analytics for when your audience is online. I use my personal profile, so I just tend to go for times when I think most people would be online.
Yeah, and there's another thing they can do is obviously if you're using a Facebook page predominantly, you can see actually in your analytics, can't you? It'll tell you when your followers are online and when they engage with you the most. So Laura, if you're talking specifically about Facebook, go into your Facebook page manager and it will tell you a bit more info about when your followers are online. And I would say kind of go along with that to post.
Just to add to that, I think when people are posting online, when you're trying to, the most important thing is that if you have compelling, engaging content, you can post anytime. Gone are the days when everything used to be chronological. Particularly Twitter. Twitter was the worst. You post something and 10 seconds later it's gone. Same with Facebook, etc. But now, if you have compelling content where you get people engaging, where you're involved in conversations, where people like your posts, people ask you questions and you respond to them, etc. I've posted things on LinkedIn which people are still liking 3 or 4 or 5 days later. So the important thing is that don't post for the sake of it, but if you have compelling, engaging content, then anytime is good to post. But obviously, we've all, as Stefan and the others kind of mentioned, you have the insights on your kind of profiles, particularly on Facebook. But yeah, compelling and engaging posts. That's what I say.
Absolutely. I think that's the thing that keeps people there, isn't it? It's all well and good getting a like or a share, and it's all right putting up a video, but I would class my success on how far you get somebody down that video. Same as like a funnel marketing. You want to get them all the way through. You've got to compel them all the way through. So guys, that's been absolutely amazing. I think we've got about 12 seconds left. But what I want to do is quickly just run around the room again. And if I can just get all of you, in case anybody needs your services in the future, can you just give them a quick reminder of what you do and how they can get in touch with you? Is that all right? Superb. Cool. If we go over to you, Gus, first, if that's okay.
Sure, yeah, perfect. My name's Gus, the M Guru. You can see kind of behind me this way. So I help businesses with social media and marketing. So predominantly social media management. So I take over your channel, so you don't have to worry about anything. I do everything for you, the content creation, the posting, etc. I also do everything related to digital marketing. So if you blogs, websites, all that, email marketing, etc. So if you need any support with social media specifically, then give me a shout.
Awesome. Thank you, Gus. Over to you, Chanel.
Hey, so my name's Chanel, and my thing is really online business. So if you have an online business and you're like a coach, or you have a course or something like that, and you want to learn organic Facebook marketing strategies so that you can do like 5-day challenges, group program launches, then I offer one-to-one coaching and group coaching, and I'm also launching a membership site with tons of training as well. So if you want to get in touch with me, you can check out my page. It's at MumBizTravel, or you can add me as a friend on Facebook.
Thank you very much, Chanel. And finally, over to you, Gemma.
Thank you. So I can help with anything marketing, mainly consultancies and strategies. So I can look at your business overview, what you're doing now and where you need to go to get results. You can follow me at gemmedia_marketing on Instagram. And I've just got a free social media strategy that I've just launched this week on my website as well. So you can download that and it can help you with strategizing your social media.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Gemma. Guys, if everybody's watching, round of applause in the comments for all of the guests. They've been absolutely amazing today. So thank you very much for all of your insights and taking the time to share this with us. Remember, guys, they have taken the time out to share their knowledge, share their expertise, and hopefully give you some fantastic tips there to move forward with. So all we ask is if you know anybody that you think could benefit, make sure you tag them in the comments or share the post with them. That would be hugely appreciated. This show is going really well. I want to really thank everybody who's got involved, from the guests to all of you that have viewed it. It's been amazing. We've had over 30,000 views in the last week. We're going to try and go for 1 million in a month. Why not? What's the word? Let's go for it. So 120 guests on the show in the next month. Let's do it. So tomorrow morning, once again, 8 a.m. It's 8 a.m. No way. I'm not up late. 11 a.m. tomorrow morning, there will be another show with some more fantastic guests for Web Wednesday. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Once again, thank you to my guests and to everybody watching. Have an amazing, fantastic evening. See you later, guys.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.